Hey everybody, it's your Aunt Jessica, and guess what we're talking about today? The Olympics, of course. What else would it be? So I got up this morning and I was feeling a little feisty. And before I get into that, I do want to apologize. It's late in the afternoon. The sun is coming through the window in a weird way, and it's kind of putting some spots on my face. That's what you're seeing. And I also want to apologize for, looking kind of trashy. It's just been a lazy afternoon. And I want to thank all of you guys, first and foremost. Like, I can't tell you how good it feels inside with all the support that you guys give me on my YouTube channel, on Instagram, on Facebook, and on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it. I love it. And I want to make it clear this is not a pity me party, but I have posted a few things on X today that really got some traction, which is good. And I also want to bring up the point that I'm not grifting and I am not monetized. I do all this at basically no charge, or I'm not making any money at it, which I've also been accused of several times, including this whole issue with the Olympics and this Imane Khelif. I'm actually getting close to saying his name right. So I want to go over a few things and some tweets and some posts that I've been getting with people, and maybe give you guys a little bit of information about what the opposition to us are saying, so you have something to fight back with. And shout out to one of my Instagram followers who just happens to notice that Jessica tends to trail off onto other topics when I'm supposed to be focusing on one. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I have a squirrel brain. Yes, I am super bad about that. So as always, I apologize that I do tend to trail off, because everything that comes into my mind as I'm saying it brings up another topic that I really wanted to talk about. And I hate to let anything slip, but I've been this way all my life. I don't know that it's like a true diagnosis of ADHD or whatever. I've never been one to believe in diagnoses from doctors and stuff like that. I just think everybody has a bit of ADD or ADHD in my case. But there are people who control it or can just navigate around it better than me. So I want to apologize on that. And again, like I just did, I went off on a rant when I'm supposed to be talking about the Olympics. Oh my God. So I posted a tweet this morning and it got, like I said, a lot of feedback. And the common theme from the people who do not agree with what I have to say is, guess what? Personal insults. Now, I do want to make it totally clear, you guys. I've been at this for a long time and nothing bothers me. I was called out this morning for two things. So we're talking about the Algerian boxer, Imane, and I posted this morning a video of him, and I said, he shouldn't have any threats or ill will wished upon him. I don't buy this fearfulness as I watch him parade around the ring, screaming and growling like a man after he punched several women in the face. And after that, I got a lot of positive feedback. People saying, yes, he's a typical POS, as we see right here. I said, yes, those are facts. One person pointed out, another friend of mine, yeah, women don't need to wear these crotch guards. And she doesn't, and neither do the other women in the Olympic matches. I'm sure they're all wearing a cup. I mean, we all have to wear a cup. So I said, true that, facts again. So this person tweets me, she, for misgendering him. And then this one goes off on me for the way I look. Now, that's what I was getting at earlier in the video, is that these people have nothing to stand on. So instead, they prefer to attack me personally, personal character attacks or insults, whatever. So this one says, why are you misgendering her? What's wrong with you? You look like a dried lizard. Because I'm dark. I am dark. I live in the desert. I do spend a lot of time outside, whether it's by the pool or out in the desert, running with the snakes and the turtles. And it's called being active and outdoors. And then this one says, Jessica, do you look at yourself before adding your profile picture? I don't really get that. And I was like, hey, it's a good idea to bring up personal insults when you're trying to make your point. I'm sure that does you a lot of good. Okay, and then this other one, I agree with the threats. I disagree. Are you wishing ill will upon him? I hope he gets whatever karma he decides to throw at him. And I hope it fucking hurts. So the Algerian fighter has been complaining that he's been getting threats and he doesn't feel safe. And that's where this video comes from. And one of the threats that I personally saw was a woman who had said that any of the women who lost in the match against this Algerian fighter should be able to take a baseball bat and hit the guy in the head with it. Now, that's a little extreme, and that was an actual female who said that about him. So she wasn't saying, I want to do this, and she wasn't saying it as a call to action, but she did say, I saw the tweet myself. So yes, that's violent to some people, and that's why I posted this thread, is that we shouldn't wish ill will, and we shouldn't have threatening behavior towards this person, but he needs to recognize and realize what he's done has made so many people upset. That's the reaction that he's getting. So he has garnered a lot of hate from the general public, but here's the kicker. He's now going after the two richest people on the planet, J.K. Rowling and Elon Musk. And he has already got a lawyer. He's lawyered up. and they are going to try and press charges from France or Algeria, I believe from France, to say that Elon and JK both made tweets about him, calling him out for basically cheating in the Olympics and hurting women. And he's trying to link all of the threats and the fear mongering he's getting to Elon and JK, of course. So to give you a little bit of context of what we're talking about, Rolling Musk named in French probe on boxer Imane Khelif's cyberbullying. Lawsuit says the Algerian Olympic gold medalist was subject to a misogynistic, racist, and sexist campaign during the games. They campaigned against him to be whatever. The French prosecutors have opened a probe into the cyberbullying claim made by Algerian Olympic boxer Imane Khelif, who has filed a case alleging that several prominent figures had taken part in online harassment over his gender. Prosecutors on Wednesday said Harry Potter author J.K. Rowling and ex-owner Elon Musk and former U.S. President Donald Trump have been named in the complaint filed by Imane Khelif's lawyer, Nabil Bari. However, the claim was filed against social media platforms, including X, and not against a specific individual. A common formulation, which under French law, that leaves it up to the investigators to determine which person or organization may have been at fault. The prosecutor's office said its Office for the Fight Against Crimes Against Humanity has opened an investigation on charges of cyber harassment based on gender, public insults based on gender, public incitement to discrimination, and public insults on the basis of gender. Khelif, who was at the center of the gender controversy in the Paris Olympic Games, he is also the country's first athlete to win an Olympic gold medal since 1996. So you see the rhetoric that we're dealing with. He would have no problem proving that JK, Elon, Donald said all these bad things about him, but they really didn't say anything that was a call to action. They didn't say anything other than he's a man and shouldn't be competing in women's sports. Like that to me is just stating the obvious. And that's was my defense on Twitter a lot today. I had 2 different people on my tweet threaten me with a lawsuit and saying that they hope Imane finds me and presses charges against me as well. And I was like, go ahead, it's a free country. We live in America, it's free speech. I use that to explain to people, look, I'm only calling out what I see. And I see a man. Whether he was sexed as a woman when he was born, and that's what the doctors decided, that's on the doctors. Everybody in the world with their own 2 eyes can clearly see that is a man who developed from male testosterone. This is a scary trend that could continue and ruin the lives of everyone in the world. We cannot let this happen. So let's get Trump in the office. Let's give him 4 more years. Let's see how it goes. I know it's going to be good, but everybody else is like, ah. But what else do you got? You got Kamala? Like, really? So I'll read the video as it goes by. He's talking in his native language, so I don't know how fast it's going to go, but we'll find out here. He says, but immediately after, there was a big uproar from the big politicians around the world, big athletes around the world, and even artists and stars. The former president of the United States, the richest man in the world, Elon Musk, they talked about you. Elon Musk, Trump, this thing that has affected me, I'm not lying to you. It affected me. It affected you? It affected me a lot. It hurt me a lot. Why was there an uproar from the big politicians around the world? He's asking. I was afraid, but thank God I was able to overcome this stage. Thanks to the specialist who helped me overcome this stage. And what can I say about this stage? It was a very difficult stage. I couldn't wait for it. The scenario was very scary. Thank God all the people of Algeria and the Arab world knew Imane Khelif with her femininity and courage and her will. So as you can see, I apologize, it's kind of broken English and the translator wasn't doing very good. So that's what he's complaining about. And people are hitting me on Twitter saying, you're misgendering her, it's a she. I'm like, no, I'm not. And in my defense to that, number 1 is I give respect where respect is earned. Going in and punching women in the face when you know you have a physical advantage over that biological female, that's disingenuous and that's disrespectful. So I'm not going to respect Imane Khelif with proper pronouns. Number 2, every photo I've ever seen of him, he's dressed in boxing clothes or training gear. He has no makeup on. This is actually the first time I've ever seen this person with makeup on. And like I said, who am I to judge? Today I got called a lizard, a desert tortoise. I believe I got called a greyhound dog laying on a wet, dirty floor mat, dried out, sunbaked. I've been called some of the crappiest things I can think of today. A bag of shit. I know I was called that on Twitter. So not to be throwing stones in a glass house, but he doesn't look that feminine even with makeup on. And like I said, I know I'm not a spring chicken and I know I'm no peach, but I do what I can with what I've got. Okay, this is it. This is Jessica. This is how I look. Like I said, I look like shit. I even have raccoon eyes because I've been running in the sun so much and my sunglasses on. Like it's dark here and my natural colors around my eyes. So that's embarrassing to me because I don't like tan lines. But again, see there, I went off on a thing. Oh, it's so bad. So anyway, my point to the world is that because of this lawsuit, we are basically reinforcing the mentality that if you are oppressed and you complain about it, you can find a paycheck. That's what this guy is going for, which unfortunately he will probably get. In the end, he's going to win. One, he got to win a gold medal. And two, Elon and JK are both going to have to lawyer up. So regardless, if Imane wins, he's going to get lawsuit settlements, probably settle out of court. He's got a paycheck. He never has to work another day of his life. And if he loses, J.K. Rowling and Elon both have to spend money out of pocket for lawyers in defense of this lawsuit that's being filed against them. So on a national level, this could get bad. So I found this video on Twitter this morning. I don't know if it's real or not because some people have commented that I don't think there's cameras allowed in the courts, but also there's no community notes on it. So I do wonder if it's legit. Like I've heard this is coming our way. The UK is already throwing people in jail for making illegal Facebook posts or social media content that is against or harmful to someone or another group. Watch.
Went on to say that you did not want your money going to immigrants who, quote, rape our kids and get priority, end quote. This offence is so serious that an immediate custodial sentence is unavoidable. Would you stand, please? The sentence that I pass has been reduced by 1/3 to reflect your guilty plea. The sentence is one of 20 months imprisonment.
So whether or not that video is actually real, I don't know. But like I said, there was no community notes, so I do believe it is legitimate. And that is the law over there now in the UK. Like you can't just say things about like illegal aliens or illegal immigrants. You can't call out the LGBT community in any way. You can't misgender somebody that might cause them harm. It's illegal. So in a defamation lawsuit, you have to prove that someone has said something that causes you harm, discomfort, or a loss of income in some sort of way. So you have to gather your evidence. And obviously the evidence for Imane against Elon and J.K. Rowling is right in front of everybody's face. But I really don't know what international law can do. But like I said, either way, this cheating wins because Elon and JK are going to either have to spend money to defend their freedom of speech, or they're just going to have to settle out of court and give this asshole a paycheck for the rest of his life. Either way, he wins. Like, he beat the system. He got a gold medal. He cheated to do it. And now he's going to get a fat paycheck at the end of the day. So then I tweeted at IOC Media, I hope it was worth it. Are you happy, Imane? And that got me some hate, which you guys, I love the hate because it brings me arguments. Unfortunately, I only got one solid argument out of it. There was a guy who brought me a chart that said that you can be XXY or XXXY and still be in the female category. And I'm not disputing that. That is science. And I do know that those rules exist within biology, that there can be a female who does have a Y chromosome, but totally develops as a female, and they still consider that person to be biologically sexed as female. But this is an argument that I have to keep making on Twitter, X, even here on the YouTube comments, and I welcome them always. The argument that I have to keep making is that Imane, whether or not he was XXY, XY, XX, he's not XX. We already know. He failed 2 tests 2 years in a row. He could have disputed them. He didn't. So he knows in his mind he has that Y chromosome. So I've talked to you about the partial insensitivity, complete insensitivity, and what that means. Basically, the insensitivity level is how much testosterone your body retains. The rest is free testosterone, unbound, and it doesn't help your body at all. So regardless, it is obviously abundantly clear, biologically obvious that Imane went through male puberty. He gained those advantages because of the Y chromosome. Whether he has female genitalia or not, it does not matter. He has male gonads within his body. And again, this is allegedly because guess what? He's not being transparent with the world. Now, is it against human rights for us to demand he shows his genitals? Yes, of course that's against human rights. And we're not saying that. We did the cheek swab. What he has under the clothes is nobody's business. But if he's going to bring it to the world stage and say, I'm a woman, believe it or not, when he knows it's controversial, that's where I have the issue. He knows he's controversial. He knows what he looks like. He knows what he can do. He knows what he's capable of. He knows what every other girl has said that's fought him. Yes, he's lost a few matches, but that's because he sucks as a fighter. To go off on a Jessica trail, I was also told that I should fight Imane since I think I'm such a tough person. And I said I would gladly fight him, and the winner gets to pick the charity of choice. I don't want any money. Like I said at the beginning of the video, I don't do this for money. I'm not monetized on YouTube. Even if I did get enough watch hours, which I think I have enough subscribers and stuff, I would not monetize. I wouldn't even know how, you guys. I'm not doing this for the money. I'm doing this to protect women's sports, and then I'm out of here. Like, if I can't get on here and bitch about guys cheating in women's sports, I don't know what I'll do. I would love to get on here and show you guys victories of women and women's competitions and stuff that women have done that's great. Like, that would be so fun. I don't know if anybody would really tune into that because, like, wants to listen to an old tranny bag like me talk about young girls competing in sports that I can't do anymore. It's almost creepy, right? Anyway, enough of that rant, but back to the topic. He benefited male puberty, hands down. He knows it, and he's going to cash in, you guys. So it's kind of a sad day in the world of free speech, I guess, if that's such a thing. I gotta tell you, if he wins this lawsuit, or if he even gets a little bit of traction on this, we all might need to be worried. And whether you're on the left or the right, you gotta admit, if we don't get Trump in office at least for 4 years and get this country like locked down and safe and get our borders up, get our borders strong, and then we can talk about the next 4 years after Trump and see how it goes and see if we can help you progressives get a little bit of your human rights back that you think you're going to lose because Trump's going to be president. It's not going to happen. He was already president for 4 years and nothing happened. You guys, it's such a bad argument. So that's my rant for the day. I really appreciate you guys tuning in. I'm sorry for the hair. I'm sorry for the makeup. I'm sorry for trailing off. And I really love you guys. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and leave a comment if you want to argue with me. Let's do it. See ya.